30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes.
Is there anybody out there that wants to roll? And is there anybody out there that wants to boogie? Tonight, live from the Apollo, Glasgow.
Well, if you're looking for trouble, I'm the man to see. If you're looking for satisfaction, it's satisfaction guaranteed. I'm as cool as a body on ice, hotter than the rolling dice. Send you to heaven, or take you to hell. I ain't fooling, can't you tell? I'm a live wire.
Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
Good evening and welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur.
And me, Andy Muir. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. Looks nice and sunny over there in Sydney, mate.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a cracking day after a week of mad rain and mad storms and tornadoes. And
Really? I saw that. You sent me that link.
thunder,
Yeah. Mad.
thunder and lightning. Yep, it's been good.
A little bit
And
of a
yesterday I
thing,
finally left the suburb.
I saw the pictures. How did that
After 4
feel?
months. It was weird.
Bet it was. Bet it was.
People. There was people everywhere. No, there was hardly anyone there. But the city was empty. It was great. Yeah,
So
it was good.
tonight, if you're here for the first time, whether you're on the Facebook group or on the YouTubes or on Twitter or whatever, please put your name and your location into the chat so we know where you're coming in from. Thanks for joining us. We had a few new members last week came in, Andy. We had folk from, fun enough, with a right gaggle from the States last week for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
you know,
evening.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
America.
to the Americans.
Yeah. So at the moment who have we got in at the moment? We've got Doug. Hello, Doug. How you doing? Talk about the States. How you doing? Dave Wilson's in. Bring on the mayhem. There's going to be it, mate. I can assure you. Have you seen the size of the gig list? It's going to take us about 10 hours to get through this. Boots is in. Hello, Boots. How you doing? So, thanks for joining us, folks. So, what have you been listening to this week?
I listened to some Alice Harvey.
Oh,
And I listened to some Bob Seger.
all right. Okay.
And that was about it. Well, I'll tell you, it'll come up. There'll be
It'll come,
others
I'm sure.
remembered later on. Yeah.
Good afternoon from good afternoon from Area 51, Graham.
Oh,
Well done, Mac. You haven't been on for a while, mate. Good to see you back. Bon's here. Good evening. How you doing, Bon? Well, I accidentally listened to the new Adele single.
yeah.
God.
Okay.
Aye.
All
I
right.
wouldn't.
You don't have
Yeah.
to like it.
Obviously, I'm not the demographic. But I just thought it was boring.
All right.
I mean, she's a great singer and all that. I mean, you can't deny that. But Gordon Bennett. Oh.
Okay.
So I stuck on some Porcupine Tree at full volume and just listened to some
Oh,
talented musicians.
okay.
But, hello from Stockholm. Hello there. How are you doing?
Hello.
If you're on the Facebook
Hello.
group, if you're excuse me, if you're on the Facebook group and you see your name not appearing, it just says Facebook user. You need to stick a little bit of code in, a little line into your Facebook that'll give you permission. Now, I don't know if I've actually got it handy. Have you got it handy, Andy? By any chance? You probably don't.
Handy. Lord.
Handy.
Really?
Don't have it handy. Well, you can tell us who you are, please. That would be really good. Because
That's it. Ollie Ostergaard.
oh, there you go. Hello, Ollie.
Hey, I think Ollie.
How you
Ollie,
doing,
were
Ollie?
you in
Welcome.
are you in that Status Quo band? Or are you
Ah,
a friend of the Status Quo band?
that makes some logical sense.
Because I watched they're called Big Fat Mama, I think.
Mm.
Did you watch them?
I didn't watch them, but I bet they're better than the
Oh.
current crowd.
Sorry for making this a Status Quo post.
Yeah.
Jesus, get over it. Just scroll on.
Yeah.
I watched you. If it's you, I watched your band. If it's not your band, I watched that band. They were fantastic.
Really good.
What a cover band. Yes,
There
brilliant.
you go.
Well,
There you go.
you are excellent. I watched
Well
some YouTube videos of you. Fantastic.
Well, there you go. There's a shout out. Well done, mate.
They were great. They were really good.
And maybe they should change their name to Status Quo, and then that shower that are pretending to be Status Quo could change their name to the Wombles.
No.
Gordon Bennett. Oh, anyway, thanks for joining us. Weirdly, I was also contacted with somebody from the Netherlands this week, who happens to be the son of a friend of mine. I mean, his dad obviously got him to contact me, but he has just formed a Jerry Rafferty tribute act.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't think there is another Jerry Rafferty tribute act, or Steelers Wheel, or any of that stuff.
Are they big in the Netherlands?
I'm not sure, but certainly he really admired them and is hoping to come to Scotland to do some gigs. So,
well, you should talk to.
Very good, I thought.
You should talk to Tommy McGrory.
I had the very same thought and actually suggested it to him because that's where you probably know that's where Jerry was born, in Paisley.
Yep.
So you never know. So anyway, thanks for all the tribute acts for joining us tonight. So mate, let's have a look at what's been going on at the Apollo this week in history. This is going to take a while.
Why does this always I'm shocked every time this happens.
What's the matter with you?
But every time you do this, I go, is it now already?
I know you're always shocked. I know it's bloody peculiar, to be honest. But but you're a professional. You've got to keep going, mate. You got to plow on. Look at this, folks. Look at the gigs this week. Look at this. Now, there is no way we can go through all of these.
Yes, there is. We can. We're just going to do it.
Are we going to do it? Are we? Right. Get a cup of tea, everybody. We're going to be here until 1 a.m. Blinking heck. Right, go.
Okay. Jesus, I was getting a wee sip of tea, man.
Oh, sorry, man.
Warm the cockles, tonsils. Number one. What am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm doing now. Fairport Convention played Wednesday.
This is our 44th show, and you don't know what you're doing.
Is it? We missed the 42nd. Didn't even do anything. Hitchhikers about that.
I know.
That was bad.
That was bad.
Fairport Convention headlined Wednesday, October the 15th, 1969. Now, as a boy of less than 2 years old at that time, I missed that gig. But I think a couple of, was it less than 2? Yeah. No, I was nearly 3. Okay. Ivory Blacks for a Sabbath tribute band. Oh, well. Sorry.
Very good. Yeah.
Very good.
How very dare you? How very dare you prioritise them over us?
Okay, let's get back to this. Fairport Convention. Now, I didn't listen to any Fairport Convention. Fairport Convention. I should have. Although, did I? I think I did a little bit. Was Sandy Denny in Fairport Convention?
No idea, mate.
All right, okay. Was Richard Thompson in Fairport Convention?
I think he was. I don't really know the point of Fairport. What the point of Fairport Convention was?
They're a folk rock band.
I know, and I quite like folk, but
you don't need a point for a band, mate.
Yeah, but I mean, Richard Thompson's a genius, but I just could never quite get my head around Fairport Convention. And they actually hold their annual get together in my town in the Cotswolds. Do you know that?
Called-
Remember,
What is it called? Fairport Convention.
it's the Fairport Convention, and they have it here at the Riesdale Hotel, and it's like I must go one year, and I'm going to just say to Richard Thompson, "What's the point of Fairport Convention?" Anyway, sorry, I shut up.
No. Okay, we're wasting valuable.
On you go,
people's
come on,
time
keep
here.
going. Stop interrupting
Right,
me.
okay. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Friday, October the 9th, 1970. Now, I posted a little gig flyer from this. I think it was part of a thing that they used to do at the Greens and the Apollo, where they put a little souvenir poster, a little souvenir program on the seats, I think. I'm not sure, but I think that's where that came from. And I got that in an email from a guy in 2012. But I've told him what I've used in it, so he's fine. King Crimson and Keith Christmas played on Monday, October the 11th, 1970, and I think this gig is recorded, and they have that on their website available to listen to and buy.
Oh, really?
But I think it is. I think that one is. If it's got Lark's tongue and aspect, which I think it does, I think that one is available for them. I think he mentions it on that Toya and Richard. What's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Robert Fripp.
Rich, Toya and Robert. I think he mentions that he played there and they recorded it. And they did. I think they recorded a jam there and it became a big song. Anyway, moving on. Genesis. My God, I've done no research. This is really bad. Genesis headlined on Tuesday, October the 9th, 1973. Why did I not listen to Genesis this week? I should have. Lindisfarne, Capability Brown, and Darien Spirit played on October the 12th, 1973. Oh, that'd be a good week for the proggers. Lindisfarne,
Very
proggy?
good.
No, they're folky. Are they folky, proggy?
Proggy who? What? Genesis?
Lindisfarne, proggy?
No, they are the folk rock again.
All right, okay. Capability Brown?
No idea.
Good names in those days.
They did have good names, yeah.
Darien Spirit. Oh, the Darien Expedition. What a terrible blight on Scottish history. Is that part? That's probably part of it. Tom Paxton played on Sunday, October. Then why am I on screen? I hate this. Tom Paxton played Sunday, October the 14th, 1973.
I've done this every week for 44 weeks.
I don't know what's happening. I'm losing my mind this morning.
He's having a crisis, folks. He's having a crisis. Look, hang on. Look, I'll do my wellness officer bit. Look, there you go. Look there. How's that?
That's better.
Right. Keep going.
I can hide behind the screen now.
Hide behind your PowerPoint slides.
Yeah. And could you click on the next one, please? Wishbone Ash headlined Sunday, October the 11th, 1974, and they were supported by Eno and the Winkies and Green Mantle. Now, I should have done some investigation into
Eno and the Winkies. Is that Brian?
I think that's Brian Eno doing some Winky business.
Winky business.
Yeah, Winky business. Wishbone Ash, good rock band. Green Mantle. I think we had a chap from Green Mantle. Good, I'm losing my mind.
You really are.
Green Mantle.
Green
Mantle. Do something on the website. There's a little quote from him about playing there. Yeah. Alex Harvey, Sensational Alex Harvey Band and Slack Alice played on Sunday, October the 13th, 1974. Could not find any Alex Harvey from the Glasgow Apollo rescued recordings, so I had to make do with a live album they recorded in Texas in 1974, which is brilliant, actually. So I listened to that this week. I was speaking to one of our correspondents, Derek McCarram, during the week about it, and I was going, he made no concession to his accent to wherever he was, right? Because he's in the middle of the thing and he's going, are you going to sing this or no? Right, it's brilliant. I want you to sing. It's far out. It's brilliant. It's excellent. And there's this song called Anthem, which I'd never heard before. Oh,
Mhm.
it's great. It's bonkers though. They're just
Aye.
mad. They got a bagpipe. There's bagpipes. This is in Texas, right? There's a bagpiper,
Yes.
and there's a woman singing like a high operatic top line of the song. It's
Right.
it's fantastic. If you can have a chance, go and listen to it. It's just the bonkers. It's
Is it on?
so
Is it
good.
on the YouTubes?
Oh, it probably will be, but the one I listened to was on an album called Live in Texas, 1974. Oh, it's just mad. I was listening to it going, this is brilliant and mad. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Dad. My dad just told me that Sandy Denny sang Who Knows Where the Time Goes
Ah.
and was in Fairport Convention. And did she
Hello,
sing in
Andy's
Led
dad.
Zeppelin? She sang in a Led Zeppelin song, I think. Battle of Evermore?
I'll
Maybe.
ever more.
Yeah. Okay, so get a chance, check out that live album from Alex Harvey Band. It's just bonkers. I mean, do Midnight Moses. Oh, it's brilliant. This is
Brilliant.
my wee band. He's over there
Aye.
in the middle of Texas. This is my wee band. Anyway, so where are we? Tuesday. Oh no, Mud played Tuesday, October the 15th, 1974.
That's neat.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. That would have been a great gig.
Good fun.
It was
Yeah.
a good fun gig. Roxy Music played 2 nights, Thursday and Friday, October the 10th and October the 9th, in reverse order for some reason. Melanie. Now, I'd forgotten who Melanie was, or I had no idea who Melanie was, but I gave her a little Google. Actually, I gave her a little DuckDuckGo. Don't use the Googles. Conspiracy theory. They're tracking me. Do you remember the song I've Got a Brand New Combine Harvester?
I certainly do. It's a rock and roll classic, mate.
Right. She wrote the original song called, I've forgotten the name of it, but it was called colloquially known as the Push Bike song.
Right.
I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. She got a brand new key.
Bum, bum,
She
bum.
wrote
Right,
that.
okay. All right, okay.
She wrote that was her big hit, and she wrote a song called "Lay Down Candles in the Rain." Mad, brilliant folk song. It's amazing. And she's very good. I quite enjoyed her stuff, and she's a good-looking lady. She's 24, 1975. She's 23, 24.
Yeah.
Amazing, good-looking. But that's not why I liked her. She's a good singer.
Of course not.
Melanie Safka. Great. Bartley James Harvest, with support from Cafe Society with Tom Robinson, played on October 1974. 1975, October the 14th. I should have listened to Cafe Society and Bartley James Harvest and
I
everyone
went
else
through.
on this.
I had a brief affair with Bartley James Harvest, and
Yes. Yeah.
I got the
I
live
think
in
the last
Berlin. Did I mention
Yeah,
it?
I think the last time I listened to them was on your videotape.
Was it right? Because the live in
Yeah.
Berlin album is pretty good actually, but they went off a wee bit. I think they went past their
Right.
sell-by date by the mid-80s. I don't know if others would disagree. Probably would, but I thought they were kind of. I don't know how to kind of nah. Does that make sense? Nah. I don't know how to spell it. But they wrote some good songs, but they were a bit namby-pamby. You know, it was like, oh, for goodness sake,
Okay.
turn
Big
the
in
guitar
Germany.
up for crying out loud. You know.
Big in Germany.
Yeah, very big in Germany.
That's the
Huge
song-
in Germany.
My dad was says the song's called Roller Skates. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Okay, but it did remind a Push Bike song, because when I was listening to it did remind me of that Mungo Jerry song.
Yes.
Same sort of vibe about it. Yes. Brand New Push Bike. Sorry. Yes. Melanie said it was Brand New. Song was by
Thanks,
Mungo
John.
Jerry. All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Did remind me of that though. I think you better check who wrote it though. Melanie was brilliant. She was good. Okay. Where are we? Oh, okay. The Who with Steve Gibbons in support. Played on October the 15th, 1975. Oh man, I should have listened to this album too. I should have listened to this. I mean, there's 51 bands. It's difficult. Difficult. I did check that out. Young Keith getting a bit irate at the airport.
Yes. He does look a bit sorry for him. He looks a bit like a Labrador there, doesn't he? Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more Bernie, someone.
Oh,
the
yes.
guy who's with the St Bernard.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think you're closer than me. Actually, I think you're right. I think your idea's better than mine. But yeah,
What age? How old was Keith Moon now?
no idea.
Right, he looks about 50.
He does, but he'd be 23 or something.
Yeah, he's had a hard night on the tiles there in the cells.
Well, he was born in 46,
Right.
so he was 30.
Far out, man. Look at the
does.
state of him. It's a hard life being a rock star.
Yeah, he's been well refreshed by that point in his life.
Oh yes, you're quite right, Facebook user. There was more to Melanie than roller skates. You're quite right. She was very, 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 very good. Quite politically active. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't only saying she was known for that song, but that was her biggest hit, I think.
James is asking a question: is that an artist sketch? James, I've got no idea, mate. It was a poster that I think the professor sent in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it is pretty good,
Well, it says
actually.
John Entwistle. It's written John Entwistle on the bottom of it, so I guess John Entwistle wrote.
All right, can you see that? I can't see that. God.
And it's join the dots, mate, with numbers.
Oh, so it is. I hadn't even noticed that. I hadn't even noticed
No, the
that.
other one. What do you mean the other one? James, you have to give more. She did do a version of Ruby Tuesday, you're quite right. James, you have to be more explicit in your explanations, like, no, I know that one.
Doesn't work, big man. Try the other one.
Switch it off and switch it on again, James.
That's it. What's Graham saying? Graham's saying Alex Avivan, Cleveland, Agora Ballroom is even better. 15-minute rendition of Anthem. Oh, right. Soundboard, YouTube. Kyle Johnson, one of the pipers on the tour with Sensational Harry Band. I invited him into this group. He may be here. Oh, or not. Thanks very much, Mac. Gosh.
Right. Well, it's a brilliant version. The one I was listening to went on for ages and ages and ages and ages. So I don't know how long it was, but it's really good. It's just bonkers. It's great. Where are we? Oh, right. So the Steve Gibbons band, another band who should have been. I mean, they supported bands.
Oh yeah.
All over the Apollo, but.
Somebody asked on the Facebook group, do they live in Glasgow? Because they were at the Apollo. So
yeah, I was gonna say, they had a wee flat up in Cow Gardens. They didn't, but yeah. Bartley James
talking about Big Tom here. Oh dear.
Hey,
I'm drinking spicy tomato juice, and you just made me choke on it. Not pleasant. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Oh dear.
Okay, so where are we? What, a long time in and we haven't done nothing.
Steve Gibbons. Then
Steve Gibbons. Bartley James Harvest and Easy Street. Another. Don't know Easy Street. Don't know much about Bartley James Harvest, but sorry, I should do more research. Shawadi Wadi. Oh, sorry. Bartley James Harvest played on October 12th, 1976. Shawadi Wadi played October the 13th, 1976 too. Wow. What a week that was. That's mad week. Bartley James Harvest to Aerosmith. Shawadi Wadi would have been. I guess if you're playing the Apollo, you're doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were. I mean, they were chart stars at the time, weren't they? So.
Oh, they were massive.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I tell you the time that they tried to molest Samantha? No, I probably didn't. I'll tell you that offline sometime.
Tell me that later. Okay. Aerosmith in Phoenix played on October the 14th, 1976. Probably not well known at the time.
No.
In Glasgow. So I'm not sure about the attendance at that gig.
From what I've heard, it was pretty poor because they were at the peak of their drug days at that point. I heard they were wasted.
Oh, that's fine. And Phoenix were. It's fine that they were wasted. Have you heard that story about Steven Tyler? Oh, you probably heard one, but the one where they were in it. I think they were in an airport or something, and they were waiting to get on the plane, and they heard this song. This song came on in the background, I think, or they were out somewhere
on a tannoy or
and they were
something.
out with a band, and they heard this song. And he's going, "Man, that sounds like us." And Joe Perry goes, "Mate, that is us."
Right.
You made us hire a 100-piece orchestra to do that orchestration for that, and he's got Steve had no recollection of the song, whatever.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy yourself a bit too much.
You can see it on his face, can't you, these days?
Well, the lines on his face.
Yeah, God.
Lines on the face.
Again. Sorry, everybody, for that. I've warned them about singing. It's not good. But,
well, not at this time of the morning.
He doesn't even know he's doing it. He just starts singing, and then you need to tell him, Andy, you're singing. Stop it.
Right. Dr. Hook.
Dennis.
Played Dennis LeQuarrie. I think that's
Nice man. Nice man.
Yeah, man. Played. I think he was playing in Glasgow not long ago.
I think he was, actually. Yeah.
Played on Sunday, October the 9th, 1977. Brothers Johnson. Now, what was the big hit that they had, Scott?
No idea, mate.
They were a sort of disco band.
Oh.
Yeah, disco band. What was the big song? Hold on, just Googling it now. James McAvetian. I don't know what the big song was, but I did listen to some.
I'm not going to get political, but
some Brothers Johnson. But they were really good. They were a good band, good funk.
Oh, I need to show the picture. Hold on, this is brilliant.
A good funk band.
Yeah.
It's
definitely not Boris Johnson's cousins, that's for sure. They've actually got some talent, in other words.
Yeah, they're very good. Man, how many times did Bartley James Harvest play in the 1970s? They're all over this.
Hey, look at this. Hang on. Pretty good. Hey, look at this. Look. That's them there. That's the brothers.
That's a good. I like that T-shirt.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it.
So they're still going. They're still gigging.
Are they? Gosh.
Yep.
Doing the funky thing.
Yep. So probably not well known in Scotland, but Bradson. Yeah, Stomp. Okay. Thanks, John. I was maybe a wee bit too young to be listening to Stomp. In fact, I was probably listening to the Police in 1979.
I think I was still listening to Elvis and Cliff Richard, mate.
Oh, you poor bugger.
Mum and Dad. Oh, it was torture. I mean, it was, and my dad thinks Elvis's best stuff was the stuff he did in Las Vegas, which is a load of trash, in my opinion. And, when I've gone back and said to him, the good Elvis, 1957, 58, 59, never heard it. God.
The comeback special is brilliant, though.
It is quite good. Yeah. I like the blues album that he did, the chess album. That's brilliant.
Right. Oh, okay. Bartley James Harvest, part of the regular the gig of the 1970s, was supported with Paul Brett in October 12th, 1977.
Who's Paul Brett?
Don't know. Should have investigated. Elvis Costello and the Attractions with support from Nick Lowe. I think I missed a couple of bands on that. I should update the website, but there's stuff played on that.
I think we might
have been a little too.
There's a friend of mine called Mike, and Mike is a Elvis Costello historian.
Oh wow!
And he's built a museum on his house to Elvis Costello.
Wow!
And he lives about 20 minutes from me, which is bizarre, right? And he contacted me this week and he said, look, I've been watching your thing on the Apollo. Mike, if you're there, hello. He says he's got a load of memorabilia he'd like us to, he thought we could share with our audience. So he might pop in once Friday night for a beer and show his memorabilia, folks, because this guy is an absolute, I mean, you know when you hear about folk that are, like our very own Iron Maiden fan, and others in the group that are quite into their Wishbone
Yeah.
Ash fans and stuff, like Liam with Iron Maiden. This guy, he's into the art as well as the music. So he's bought all the original album art, and he spent a fortune on it. And so he said he'd pop in. So I think that'd be quite nice sometime to have him in. Maybe next year. But anyway, just
good.
an aside, but nice though. Mike Hobday.
Yeah.
Hello, Mike, if you're watching.
Yeah. So they played on October the 13th, 1977. I like Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Good band.
Yeah, me too.
Good band. Nick Lowe, perennial Nick Lowe. Great musician, good bands. Probably had the. I should not mention stuff before I forget what it is.
Probably not. No, Nick Lowe.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Nick Lowe, good band. Yeah. Rock something. He had some kind of band called Rock something. Anyway.
Rock Pile.
Someone will tell me. Thank you.
I just told you. That was me. I just told you.
All right. Thanks very much for being my brains there, mate.
Facebook user. Oh, it's Boots saying he saw Elvis in a Paisley pub in August '77. There you go.
I don't think he did, mate.
He's probably still there, Boots. He's probably still there. Was
that with Glenn Hughes?
Oh God! What even got? He came out. Oh no! Move on.
Bob Seger, supported by Meal Ticket, played Friday, October the 14th, 1977. Bob Seger. I listened to Bob Seger.
Yes.
Brilliant. I love Bob Seger. Not because he sounds like Frankie Miller, but because he writes some good songs.
He's brilliant.
And he also writes some good songs that sound quite like Frankie Miller.
And
like the song Fire Down Below.
Don't know if folk have ever realised this. About Bob Seger, but Frank Lynch was a big fan. Frank Lynch was the guy who ran the Apollo. And that's why you had places in Glasgow named after his songs. That's why Night Moves was called Night Moves.
I think Night Moves was named after Frank had it.
Was it? Well, he told me he named it.
Oh, okay.
We'll get him on and interrogate him like we did with Billy Sloan.
I was talking to my mate, my new mate, my mate Willie Potts this week. Hope you're doing okay, Willie. Heard you had a wee bit of a turn this week, so I hope you're getting better. Yeah. So I think, So he was telling me all about Night Moves and putting stuff in Night Moves. It was great. It was a good chat I had. So I really like that. I really like Bob Seger. So I wish I'd been around to see Bob Seger at the time.
Yeah, me too.
He's brilliant. And if you listen to the song Fire Down Below, you might notice a similarity between that and a certain Frankie Miller song.
Definitely.
And there's a YouTube video of Frankie Miller doing Fire Down Below, and then he goes into his own song. And there's not much difference. And I think Bob Seger went and recorded a Frankie Miller song just to help smooth over the waters between them, or lawyers. Yes. So he's great. He's a great singer. That's what I actually fell asleep listening to that last night, to the strains of Jodie Girl from the live album.
The live album is superb.
Yeah. Stranger in Town, is that? No,
it's just
Live Bullet. Sorry, Live Bullet is the first live album. There's another one after that. Bob Seger and Protex. Oh, where I jumped. Wishbone Ash again played on October the 9th, 1978. 43 years ago. Good grief! I bet you that scares some people. Scares me. Boomtown Rats and Protex played on Wednesday, October the 10th, 1979 and October the 11th, 1979. Didn't listen to Protex and I didn't listen to Boomtown Rats, but I do like the Boomtown Rats because I listened to them before, one of these ones before. Yeah, a good band. I think it was the fine art of surfacing, but I always read that as the fine art of surfing for some reason. Well, I don't know. Well, I saw a guy in water, so I thought it was. until I looked at Derek McAdams' post the other day. I thought, oh, he spelled that wrong. He said surfacing, and I went, oh, it is surfing.
I think, Andy, I think I was in my 30s before I realised that ITV didn't stand for English television. I kid you not. Unbelievable.
No, because you had STV.
Yeah, in English TV.
Yeah. English.
There's another time, I tell you, sorry, this is going off piece, but there's another time I'm reading my mate, he might be in you, and if you're here, how you doing? But I'm in the student halls reading this newspaper, and I said to him, and he's a posh guy, well-educated guy, and he's like sitting there, and I'm going, Ewan, who's this guy Reuters that keeps writing all these articles? I did. What an idiot. Anyway.
That's good. Gladys Knight and her pips fired up to the Apollo on October the 13th, 1979.
What would that have been like? That'd have been mad. I think that would have been quite a good laugh.
Mad. That would have been a great night. I just, because all I experienced was the Apollo with a rock crowd.
Yeah.
I just thought it would be, it's to imagine it in your head, like the Brothers Johnson and Gladys Knight and the Pips, or even, just other bands. It just does not compute in my brain, but it probably the other way around for other people. They haven't even ever been to a rock gig at the Apollo and gone, I couldn't imagine that. That would be so bizarre. People not dancing, just banging their heads together.
Absolutely. I mean,
what?
There's a Lloyd Cole and the Coconuts gig that we've touched on once before, and the fella Stuart Campbell, who unfortunately died, showed me some pictures of that gig, and it looked absolutely mad, mate. I mean, there were dancers on platforms, and they were swinging for the roof, and and you can just imagine that sort of music at the Apollo. I mean, it is disappointing, isn't it? There aren't many recordings of
Lloyd Cole.
No, Kid, what's his name? Kid Creole. Lloyd Cole was. No, I didn't mean that. That wasn't even a Freudian slip. That was a stupid slip. But Kid Creole and the Coconuts, absolutely brilliant. I think that would have been a great gig to be at. But as we've moaned about before, despite the best efforts of the guys over at Rescued Recordings, there's just so few recordings of non-rock and punk gigs.
I know.
So few.
I know. I mean, it's not our fault that you can't find them.
Well, they're still brilliant. It's your fault, mate. It's your fault.
Yeah. The Scorpions and Blackfoot banged their heads together. Scorpion!
What a gig.
Yeah, that would have been a great gig.
Blackfoot are where Ricky Medlock, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, they're still going, and there's none of the original members now in the band.
Wow.
Ricky occasionally comes on stage. What?
Is Ricky Medlock in them?
No, they're still touring, doing their farewell tour with Skinnerd.
Wow, and he's not even in them. It's his band.
It's his band, and it's one of he does come on sometimes, so he comes on. Okay. But it's one of the examples. I think we'll see a lot more of it, of bands still called their old name and none of the original members in it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Great gig that would have been. Brilliant. Somebody saying there it was my favourite gig. The Apollo Blackfoot with Scorpions. Yeah.
Well, they're good bands. Scorpions are a highly entertaining rock and roll band. Yeah. And go and if you want some good podcast listening to, go and listen to there's a podcast about the Scorpions and their role in the breaking up of the Soviet Union.
Reunification stuff.
Yeah, it's a great podcast, which I've just totally forgotten the name of.
Yeah, it's great. Informative dialogue, and
it's quite early, and I've only been up an hour.
I know. You've only
the synapses are not firing at full capacity. Right, this is taking a while.
Yes.
Are you still there, viewer?
Oh, yeah, they're still there. I can see them.
Sorry. Hawkwind and Mama's Boys played. I don't know what that would have been like, but the Mama's Boys would have been doing a good show, and Hawkwind would have done a good show. But that seems like a bit of a mismatch in.
It's a bit, isn't it? Yeah. But,
in
I've
Rome.
said it before. Hot Wind's the loudest band I've ever seen live. Unbelievable. Yeah, a wall of noise. Just a wall, and I couldn't hear a thing. Couldn't hear a thing.
Okay. Well, I think the Mamas Boys have been doing a good job. I love the
they're
Mamas
great.
Boys.
McManus.
Love
Isn't it?
The Mamaks.
Aye.
Saw them many times.
Yeah, me
saw them
too.
many times. Heathery Bar, the Apollo, and saw them up in Aberdeen. In
So
a
I'm in the venue,
tiny wee venue in Aberdeen. It was brilliant.
Which
They were
one?
amazing.
The Orange Tree.
Oh, no, it was on. I don't know. I can't remember. I
I
remember
don't
the
know
venue.
venue. I don't know that venue. That's it.
Yeah, you do know it.
Yeah.
Because you've been to it. Yeah, good. It was a good venue.
Cheeky,
much so that I forgot.
cheeky boots here saying it's a hairy Chester's heaven tonight. Just you wait to see what we play
Well,
later on, you cheeky
I don't
monkey.
think so.
I think it's quite mixed up. I think Right, anyway, continue.
Yeah, Madness and the Bell Stars. Oh, those well-known hairy Chesters. The Madness. Yeah, they played on October the 10th, 1980. I liked the Bell Stars when they came out, and I like Madness, but I didn't tell anyone that I liked them. Perennial favourites of ours, AC/DC, and with Y&T, another fantastic performance.
Brilliant.
Readily available on YouTube if you want to have a look at it, listen to it. October the 9th, 1982. Brilliant. Cannons, Plaster, Rock and Roll, Sore Neck.
That's actually
Pointing at
very
the stage, Shouting Angus, clapping on the 1 and 3, everything.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant gig.
fantastic.
Kim Wilde played on Sunday, October the 10th, 1982. Another well-known hairy Chester.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Wow, she
She was very
wearing
beautiful.
Adidas. She looks like she's wearing Adidas stiletto shoes.
Is she what did she do? Is she a gardener or something these days? Or is that Charlie thing? What's her name? I'm maybe getting them mixed
Well,
up.
I've seen an advert with her in a garden eating chocolate.
All right. Well,
maybe that was just my dreams.
Here's a couple of comments here. Look, we've got Facebook person saying loudest gig was Ted Nugent. I wasn't at that, but I believe he is. He was very loud.
Yeah.
And here's somebody being quite. Is it not true? Black Sabbath is the loudest band out? I don't know that. I don't know if anyone's ever.
It depends.
Table or anything, but
that's a shame.
Sabbath. I've seen Sabbath about 7 or 8 times. I don't ever recall them being particularly loud. No, I don't know. Maybe they were. It could have been. You might be right. I don't read this. Kim Wilde's hairy chest was well renowned in the industry.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. That's just speculation.
That's terrible. How dare you?
That's terrible. How very dare you? My goodness.
God.
Yeah. And also Neil Sedaka, talking to hairy chests. Neil Sedaka, come on, mate. Monday, October the. I just looked at the time. Good grief, mate. Monday, October the 11th, 1982.
Keep going. You're doing well.
A good time. I don't care. It's good. A good laugh.
This is alcohol free as well. This is quite bizarre.
It's barely caffeinated. Caffeinated.
Well, we're spotting that, mate. That is quite obvious.
Oh, it's obvious. Yes. Should have had my caffeine show. UB40 played Sunday, October the 9th. They probably had a support band. If anyone was at that gig, can you please write it in the comments, because I like to be a completist about this. If you know any support bands of these gigs or any other bands, just let me know in the comments or send an email to me at info@glasgowapollo.com and I'll update the database. It's nerdy like that. Did I say Cliff Richard? Cliff Richard.
Right, actually, you've said it now. Right, who's next?
All right, Cliff Richard, another hairy Chester.
Right.
Boots would be going. Boots is going crazy now.
I'd love
October
that.
the 12th, 1983.
Yeah.
And the next night was another hairy Chester with Wham. Thursday, October the 13th, 1983. I think that was the one where they were, this is what happened. They were pulling out shuttlecocks from their breaks and popping them into the audience.
Yeah, well, the worst.
I don't know the context. There's probably a song where there's probably a video where they play badminton, or I don't know, they arsing about being funny.
Been wham.
Elkie Brooks. I'm saying nothing about Elkie Brooks's chest.
Fantastic. She was great.
I don't know about it. I don't
I'm
know
not talking about her
chest.
chest, I'm talking about her voice.
She's a great singer. She's probably very proud of herself. Great singer, and I do like Elkie Brooks.
She's
a good singer. A great singer, rock singer.
Yeah.
Good singer. Good band. And I might be getting mixed up. I'm not going to say anything because I'll get it wrong. James Last.
Yeah, I quite like the ridicule element of the show. It's quite good. It's quite entertaining. Particularly it's getting ridiculed.
Okay.
There she is.
Well, there she goes. Lovely singer, great voice, rock, fantastic. Yeah, good singer. James Last, the very last on this list. We've made it.
Well done.
Well done.
There was quite a lot of lump on the on the socials for James Last. And for Bob Seger, wasn't there? I mean, I think a lot of people's mums and dads and grandparents went to James Last, and I know my grandfather, he loved James Last. He absolutely loved him.
Yeah, well, there was certainly James Last albums at my auntie's house when I was a kid.
Yes.
In the record cupboard. The record cupboard there. Yeah. No. Good. A fantastic week. I can't believe 51 people played. Well, it was a long time. It was a lot of days, but a lot of years. But 70s was the highlight of the Apollo years. I think 77, 76, 75.
Pretty amazing.
Mad.
Pretty amazing. Well, Andy, if I had a machine that I actually do have one somewhere that makes noises, I'd give you a round of applause, mate. Well done, getting through all of that, because that was substantial. It's amazing how we had so many weeks with virtually no gigs, and now we've got so many of them. Yes. So let's move on rather quickly, and we'll look at the comments in a minute.
I mean, I do like it when there's no. I don't like it. I mean, it's good to listen to the bands that you're going to talk about. But 51 bands is a bit difficult. And I wish there was more recording. I wish there was more recordings of this stuff.
Yes.
Because I mean, what would the Boomtown Rats sound like in 1979 at the Apollo? Brilliant, probably. Or Elvis Costello. They would all sounded fantastic.
Yeah,
but there's no recordings.
Yeah.
There was no mobile phones, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Ian, that's not good.
On the subject of mobile phones, see that wee wiggly our fingers there? It's like, come on, Andy. It was, come on, Andy. Come on, Andy. Right. How have the socials been this week?
There's more stuff from me. Socials, brilliant. Great. We've had 70 new members. Thank you very much for joining up.
That's incredible.
I don't know if that's the Billy Sloan effect, because he had it on his page. Maybe people saw it there and tipped a little membership to us. Mm-hmm. And thanks again, Billy, for coming on. Members, we've got 10,134 members.
How many?
10,134.
Jeez, oh.
Yeah. So
right, okay.
That's selling at the Apollo 3 times now. We had 6,803 active members and 69 posts this week. A lot of them were Derek, and a lot of them were other people. Well, obviously other people, but there was some good. There was some cracking posts, but you know,
it's been good ones.
I'm still a wee bit. There was 1,579 comments. That's a weird way to say it. 1,579 comments.
That's a bit weird.
and 4,889 reactions. I'm losing my mind, mate. I don't know what's happening. I feel a
You
bit
want to go and lie
giggly.
down in a dark room and I'll just talk for 5 minutes, then you can
It
come
must be
back.
the sunshine.
It might be, mate. It's starting to affect you.
Oh,
Well, there was a few things that I thought were
my
quite good.
lockdown freedom.
No, hang on.
Right.
Somebody's saying it's going to be a squeeze at Lauders. It really is. It's nearly sold out. It's going to. We'll talk about that later on. But in terms of
That's great.
caught my eye this week, there was a few. You put up this. This is one of Billy's things. This Emerson Lake and Palmer thing. Tell you, there was a lot of folk really didn't like them. At that point in their career, I mean, Dave Gardner said their music sounds hellish now.
Ah, okay.
And Russell, I think I get what he's saying actually, because their music is kind of. I watched that, the live one they did in the football stadium at Wembley before there was any audience in, and actually it is a bit tedious. Russell Wyatt's saying the synth solo on Lucky Man is possibly the worst bit of recorded music ever. Horrible. Clearly, Richard likes him. Russell likes him. Then Richard Wright said, "White, I might." This is good. This is classic Apollo comment. I might well have been to that gig, but only if I could remember. Can't remember. And then the other one that I like because it's different, and I just wish there was a recording of this. Was the Gathering of the Clans, and this was the the hordes of punks that the Apollo Anti-Nowhere League and the Exploited, etc. That would have been a spit fest. I've got no doubt about that. Would have been a spit fest, but I bet it was good as well, though. I bet it was good fun, that one, mate.
Yeah.
A lot of folk like that. So
did you read the comment from the singer?
I did see it.
Yeah.
I saw
I'll just explain it. He was performing on the stage and he spat, and he probably didn't realise how far it is to the audience, and it landed on one of the bouncers, and the bouncers were none too pleased.
Oh dear.
And he was informed on stage that they were going to have a word with him later on, and after they'd finished, so they bolted from the they bolted as soon as they finished, because he didn't want to be didn't want a beating, probably.
From the Glasgow.
I never understood the spitting business, but never understood it.
I miss punking of
just why don't you just clap for your appreciation?
Yeah. I kind of, that I think that I've got a mate. I think I've mentioned him on here before. He's another Scottish guy that lives here in the Wolds, and he's a big punk fan. And I keep saying to him, "So I just pretend, mate," And he's adamant. It's like Chris Packham. I love Chris Packham, the Nature guy. Absolutely mad about punk and everything about it in terms of the clothes, the attitude, the covers of the singles. Fanatical fans, and well, that doesn't make sense. That sentence, does it? Fanatical fans. Fan means shut up, Scott. Anyway, and I don't get it either. I don't get it. I just thought it was a load of nonsense.
No, I don't. It's the spitting I don't get. The punk is okay. The music's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
most
just
punk bands are reggae bands. The Clash and the Stranglers were the punk bands. They're nowhere near punk bands. But, anyway,
and the Sex Pistols were really. To me, there's a good rock band in there.
Well, the first album, excellent, really good album, right album. But, so other stuff that popped up. This one. Now you won't be able to read it, but I'll stick it on the. This is Danny Reynolds sent this, and this is from the program in the Alex Harvey band that last week. Billy Sloan basically read this to us, talking about Alec being a bit of an environmentalist, which is really cool. There's some really nice words there, but I can't really, you won't be able to see them just now. But what I did like, and I don't think I've ever seen before, is there's the music for Faith Healer in the programme. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's Bambo. It's the music for Bambo.
Is it Bambo? I can't see it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's great. I just think it's a really interesting piece. So thanks very much.
Well, that's got the sort of environmental.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite cool. And then the other one that came up that I thought was pretty good was this one.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Paul Weller sitting there with the Apollo statue. Yeah. So thanks very much, William Moran. That's a brilliant picture, and I'd never seen it before. I don't know if it's rare or unusual or whatever, but I'd never seen it.
He looks about 15 now.
He does, doesn't he? And
he's coming out of high school there.
His wee sister sitting next to him.
Is that his sister?
Right. I have no idea, mate. I'm making it up.
All right, okay. But, could be my sister.
Could be. Look
of her. Same haircut.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's quite a good picture. I do like it. Well, Raymond's saying he's just left the Delamitri gig and he might see us later. Excellent, Raymond. Take it easy, mate. Take it easy. Probably, look at these emojis. I don't think he has taken it easy. So it could be there's someone saying, I'm with you there. Punk was shit, which is why it's gone and never to be remembered. I don't think that's fair.
I don't think it was all. I mean, a lot of good bands came out of punk bands. You know, yeah.
They were.
I'm not sure about that. I don't. It will be remembered. I mean, a lot of it was not great, but
yeah,
you can't be great when you don't play your instrument. But
you're saying we're talking shite. You may well be right, mate.
Yeah. You can't be great when you've just picked up a bass and hitting it with, like you've got one string and you don't know how to play it, but you get better. And then you turn into a musician.
Yeah. Then you become a prog star.
You could,
Anyway, we better move on because we've got an awful lot to get through still. It's one of those weeks. Now I'll just have a wee think. What will we do next? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do this next. We'll do the artifact one next. There's quite a few interesting artifacts. This is something we started to do after John Henry suggested, or he gave us some artifacts from things that he grabbed at the Apollo, whether he'd nicked them or borrowed them or whatever. And they've started to come in now, mate. Folk are starting to send them in, and it's quite interesting because we're not going to spend a lot of time on this tonight. But there was one. This is a fairly obvious one, but I really liked it. This was Bill Bletcher, who sent a whole stack of his programs. Yeah. And do you know? I don't know what you think, mate, or what everybody else thinks, but I think programs used to be a lot more important than they are now. I mean, I haven't bought a concert program since the 80s. I just don't buy them anymore. I guess the internet's probably taken a lot of the edge off of that, but I used to love them. I used to really like them. And look at these ones at Bill's. The artwork is well, the Battle of James Harvest one's a bit tame, but the other two are actually quite clever. So I quite like these. So thanks for sending them in, Bill. And everybody else, if you've got any programs or any other artifacts from the Apollo time, it's really cool. And you saw how Billy showed I think he showed nearly his whole collection last week. But it really worked because it gave him, I mean, he doesn't struggle to speak, but he kept talking because of the artifacts. It kind of proved the point. So thanks for sending them in, mate, and we hope to see some more in the next few weeks. We've got a lot more, but we've been on already for an hour, so we'll just part that for a wee bit, mate, I think, and come back to it next week. So there's a couple of things that we just want to mention this week that you all know that we're trying to put together this night out, which is getting quite exciting, really.
Run.
Now, this wee monkey told me he didn't like the music on that, so I'm going to have to change it. It's a TikTok sensation, mate.
Yeah.
Run. The reason I used it is because it's a TikTok sensation, and you don't need to worry about copyright. And hopefully we'll get away with 4 seconds of AC/DC at the end, but Rick Beato didn't, so we'll see. We'll probably get hammered. But just to remind everybody, things the tickets are selling really quite quickly, and the idea is we're all going to come together on the 17th of December, except for Andy and Chris, who can't make it, and have a wee schwally and talk stories about the Apollo. Now, we've only got 80 tickets, and we've now sold 62, so we're nearly sold out. If you want to come, please buy them. I'm going to ask for more, but I don't think they'll give us any more because it's so close to Christmas. I think they'll just want to have a bit for us and a bit for the public. We'll wait and see. But thanks to those, we both really appreciate you buying the tickets. Any profit that we make will go into paying for software and things so that we can keep updating this site and our site, the Facebook group, and this live broadcast every week. So thanks, guys. It's been amazing, absolutely amazing, selling so many tickets in such a short period of time. Really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you. Right, mate. What will we do to finish this off tonight? Because there's an awful lot going on here. Right.
There's someone asking if they're getting their own name badges.
Not telling you.
I'm not telling you.
I haven't even thought about it.
That's right, we haven't.
Not at all. Anyway, we're not telling you. But we're working out what we're going to do. There's a few things that we're thinking about, but at the moment it's yeah. And here's somebody saying the old artwork was the reason I had a graphics business. Really? Very good. Could see the things
that was Lindsay Peebles. Lindsay Peebles.
All right, Lindsay. Lindsay said problems getting into the show the last couple of weeks, mate. We need to investigate that. Are you telling me that you shaved your chest because you're an anti-punk? Who's anti-punk? I'm not anti-anything. That's like saying I'm anti-architect. I don't like architects particularly, but I'm not an anti-architect, and I'm certainly not an anti-punk. I like a lot of punk music, but I think a lot of it's crap. And I'm sure the ones that don't like hairy chest music, I think a lot of that's rubbish as well. So it's a question of taste. But Roger Dean was the master. He certainly was. Did some amazing albums for mainly proggy groups. Somebody saying here, it's John. Hi, John. How you doing? Name badges could be good because it's some of us may have forgotten who we are. Yes, I can think of a couple already, mate. So yeah, I think we'll probably think about something, but we're not talking about that just now. Right, so we're going to play some music now, and just the one piece of music this week because we're over an hour already. So we'll just play the one. Now this is a guy we've played before, but we did do basically a cover version that he'd done that night. So we're going to go back to one of our favourites, mate, tonight. We're going to go back to Sammy Hagar. Now, Sammy has played some brilliant gigs at the Apollo, and this was no different. It was absolutely fantastic. And this song is, it's brilliant. It's only 4 minutes long. It's a bit hairy-chested for some of those that don't like the hairy chest music. But anyway.
We could have a little thing that says hairy chest warning.
Yeah, we could maybe have a, you know how they do it with red wine, they have 0 to 10 with, light to full bodied. We could maybe have baldy to hairy chest. I'm not going there either, so I'll just shut up.
It wouldn't work.
It looks like I've been fooled.
Not bad, eh? Not the most sophisticated lyrics of all time. It's kind
Don't need to.
of
Yeah.
David Coverdale-esque, just say the same thing over and over and over and over again, But still brilliant, and I think one of the best performers there's ever been. To be honest, I love him. I love him to bits. There's some. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. There's some brilliant. I've been giggling away if you've been reading these, Andy. There's some brilliant ones. Let me just read some out because they're quite memorable. If I can get the comment thing to work, because that seems to be playing up tonight as well. Hold on. Chris is saying on the back of the badges you could have "if found, please return to," and home address. And Boots is suggesting we could maybe do badges with Harry Chester's warning on. At least that's what I'm thinking you're saying. Better watch, Boots' sense of humour. And someone else on Facebook is saying, I'm 62, I've got more hairy chin than a chest, to be honest. Brilliant. And then I don't know what's wrong with the chat, mate. I can't get down to it. But there was someone saying they live on Butte now and they love going to the Glasgow Apollo tonight. That's fantastic. That's why we do this. Absolutely magic. Who was it? Sorry?
Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay. That's lovely. That's absolutely magic. So we hope you enjoyed tonight. One or two wee things to finish. One of them is we'd like you to join us on the After Zoom show. How to describe it? I don't. Let me think about it while I play. So how do we describe this, mate? What's it like at the after show Zoom? What's he doing? Right, I need to explain. Last week, one of our after show Zoomers
had a wee accident.
Well, he was very well refreshed. He had a few soda pops and he fell off his chair at about 3 a.m. and all we could see was his hand coming up with his thumb saying he's all right. So yeah, it's a bit like that.
It was quite a moment.
It was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So there's the Zoom address there on the screen. It's also on the Facebook group. We'd absolutely love it if you could come along. It's brilliant. We have a right good laugh.
It was funny.
I'm on the soda water tonight, mate. I don't know if I can cope with another one of these boozy nights, but you never know. I might change my mind. One thing I haven't mentioned this week is this. Now, this is something that I wrote quite a long piece. I don't know if you've seen it, Andy. I wrote quite a long piece about this today on the Facebook group that we really want folk to get their memories down on video if possible, because it's important. On the 16th of December, I'm going to be in Glasgow from 12 o'clock. Haven't got a venue sorted out yet. One guy contacted me, wanted £100 for me to sit in his cafe from 12 till 6. So I told him to go and jump in the Clyde. Bloody cheeky bastard. Anyway, so as a plan, I really don't think that's very nice. We've been sitting there having a pint and drinking coffee all day. That's enough. So what I'll probably do, if I can get a venue in the centre, I'll probably just sit and walk about, because this get lots of wee nooks and crannies. And if you could come along, I'll film you. I'll ask you some questions. You don't even need to think about it. But it's really cool. And I don't know if you heard, we'll play it the show next week, but Billy Gillespie was on the radio this week. Was it the radio or the telly, Andy?
Radio.
Radio.
Yeah, radio.
I've heard it, but I didn't know if it was taken off the telly. Billy Gillespie from Primal Scream was on the radio this week, and we'll play it next week. But all he did for 90 seconds was remember when he went to see Thin Lizzy at the Apollo. It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was really good, and
I'll just correct you there, but that was from 2016.
Well, yeah, I don't know when it was recorded, but anyway, he was talking about the Apollo. So I've actually asked him if he'll come on the show, so we'll see. You never know. So anyway, if you come along to that, it'd be great. There's one thing I'm going to just mention to you this week that I don't normally do this, but some of you might quite enjoy it. I do another thing. Wait a minute, let's take this off the caption off. Where is it? This thing off. There we go. Sorry. in my other life, I do another broadcast basically about storytelling, and I've just recorded a piece with one of Glasgow's. She should be really famous. I mean, she's getting more famous, but she's not as famous as she should be. And I just recorded a session with her. We actually mentioned the Apollo, but it's not. I'm not trying to sell you as an Apollo thing. It's not. But I know some of you are interested in this sort of thing. So on Tuesday, at 12:30 across the socials, including the YouTube channel and my Facebook page and my LinkedIn page, there's an interview with this lady here, Mariana Polka. Now, if you've never heard of her, she was in Ned's. Which most of you will have heard of. She's on the Netflix show Glow, which is about wrestling in the States. She did she did a film called Big Dick. If you remember that, and it's not that Big Dick. But she got an award at Sundance for that, and she got an award from none other than Sean Connery for that. So, and I think she's won 10 Emmys or something. I mean, it's ridiculous how successful she is. And she made 12 movies. It's just madness. Anyway, she's lovely. She's Glaswegian. She is so proud of being Glaswegian, and she's good at talking, as you can imagine. So there's an hour with me and her on Tuesday at 12:30. If you might be interested in that, I'd be delighted to see some of you popping in. And I know a few of you already have on these shows, but she's really much appreciated. So sorry for the wee plug. I'm not really sorry. It's something else that I do, and it's great to talk about it sometimes. So Andy, you enjoy that this week?
I think I did. Yes, it was good. I was on the verge of giggling a lot at that time. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I was.
I don't know. You know, sometimes you wake up and you feel a bit happy.
Well,
no
yes.
Reason. There's no reason for the happiness.
It was. I think it sounded like we'd both been drinking, and neither of us have. So I don't know. It must be something in the water. About 10,000 miles apart, mate. So no, I enjoyed it thoroughly. So anyway, my name is Scott MacArthur, and thank you for tuning in to Glasgow Apollo Live.
And my name is Andy Muir, and I also thank you for tuning in to Apollo Live. And if you feel like it, buy a T-shirt.
Yes.
Give us a coffee. Links are somewhere on this group. I'm selling it really well. Or even, just punch us 10 grand. That'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be even better. But no, we appreciate that. There's been quite a few of you bought us a cup of coffee, which is magic. It's only £3, but it really helps.
And a few people bought a T-shirt this week, so that's good too.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we're working on that, hoping to have something to tell you in the next few weeks, but it's been a wee challenge for us, but we're still working on it. So anyway, good night, everybody. We hope to see you over on Zoom. And somebody just asked, what's my Facebook? It's just Scott MacArthur on Facebook. Type my name in, you'll find it. I could put a link into the group at some point. I don't really want to mix the two too much because folk will say, what the hell are you doing? But I'll maybe put a wee link in.
Cross-promotion, mate. Cross-promotion.
It's probably some sales technique that you're, but it's not someone getting paid for. But anyway, it's well worth tuning in. It's brilliant. So good night, and we'll hopefully see you over on Zoom. Cheers.